Okay, hello. Welcome to the opening episode of Under the Fallen Maple. Yay! This is a samurai mouse guard game using mouse guard second edition, just with a different coat of paint on it than normal. So, welcome.
Sweet.
I'm going to be the game master. I'm Eric Vulgaris on the internet. I've played mouse guard quite a few times. I'm pretty comfortable with it. I'm ready to teach these fine folks a thing or two about guarding mice. Although not everyone here is a tender paw. I think a few people here have seen something that somewhat resembles mouse guard. Some other people are fresh recruits, and that's fine. Chat, don't have no fear if you never heard of mouse guard and feel intimidated, because some of the players here, we're going to be learning just along with you, and I will be taking us on the ride here as game master, facilitator, and rules person, so we can all learn together. Okay, yeah. So Elf.
Good.
Let's go around and introduce the cast here. So Elf, what's up?
Hello, I'm DistractedElf. I've played Mouse Guard a grand total of a single time in a one shot, and it is the most viewed thing on my YouTube page randomly. Yep. So
Sweet.
Bodes well.
Yeah. Fun fact, I think that's the first time I ever encountered your content. Was
Lovely.
from that a long time ago.
It's a very, very old video.
Yeah.
I am very different in there than I am now, but there you go. So cool. Yeah, I'm a streamer. Well, you probably already know that.
Yeah. Oh, you stream? I didn't know you stream. What do you stream?
Yeah,
Where can people find you?
What do I stream, Eric? I stream everything, but you can find me at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter @DistractedElf.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, who knew? That's so cool.
I just thought you liked bright, green screen, green walls.
I definitely do enjoy green walls.
Same. I mean,
just a coincidence.
Yeah,
Just a
I'm
coincidence.
not a streamer. I just require green screens a
Yes.
fair amount. For unrelated green screen.
Yeah.
Cool. Colin, who are you? How did you wind up in this video call?
I
Playing
keep
this
asking
game.
myself that. That's so weird. I'm Colin. Sometimes I go by Sunder on the internet, but I'm not one of you internet personalities or streamers that everyone is already familiar with. As noted by no green screen behind me. I don't know. I don't know why I'm here.
Is that a dig at Bluejay?
No.
I'm not a real streamer, guys.
Sorry, Bluejay. We'll get you a green screen sometime. I don't know. I've played Mouse Guard before. I also don't know how I fell into that game, but I played a fairly lengthy Burning Wheel campaign with Adam and Austin Walker and Silden, Jess, as well as Suzanne in our second season of that series. So yeah, I'm kind of adjacent to all you people in some ways, and so I'm happy to be here and kick various woodland creatures' butts.
Yes. That's good.
I'm Bluejay, and I'm not a real streamer. Because I don't have a green screen.
Bluejay, are any of us real? Let's be honest.
I mean, how can streamers be
How
real
can-
if our computers aren't real?
Wow, that really makes you think.
Yeah.
Pretty deep.
Anyway, I have the streamer chair, so I guess I can be a real streamer. I play games on the internet for my living, which is weird. I play lots of role-playing games over on twitch.tv/roll20 app, sometimes on twitch.tv/misclicks, and now here. And then I play video games on my own channel, sometimes role-playing games there too, I guess, and a lot of Overwatch, which I guess is going to have some kind of inspiration a little bit on this quest of ours. And also, I occasionally just read people books, which is nice.
That is very nice. That's so awesome.
I'm pretty fond of it.
Yeah. Okay. So, we probably might be wondering what we're doing here, right? What's actually going on here?
Yeah.
And we're gonna be doing things.
Mouse Guard, probably.
Yeah. Probably Mouse Guard. But like I said, it has a different coat of paint on it. It's roughly the same. We're still going to be playing characters in a world that are kind of like ranger-esque type people responsible for delivering mail, helping people, but with a pretty significant twist. So unlike the regular comics, we're of having like a sort of like Western fantastic setting, we're going with more of a Eastern Japan concept. The reason why it's named the game Under the Fallen Maple is that there was an emperor who was under the Maple clan, and the emperor was your lord, who the Mouse Guard also served. Unfortunately, with him deposed with no known heir, the world sits on a very tenuous balance between the 4 great clans: Apricot, Pear, Plum, and Cherry. So, of those 4, we're going to be kind of interacting. You guys are, since you're former high up in the Maple Guard, you don't really have a stance to go back to. You don't have a lord. A lot of people have disbanded and went back to their original clans.
Eric.
Yes, there's a question.
Yes. Is my clan not one of the great clans? Clan Pear.
What did I say? Did I say Pear?
You
Did I say
not
Peach?
include-
I don't know.
No.
I don't remember.
Pear, plum, cherry, apricot.
Apricot, pear, plum, cherry. Yeah. Yep.
Did I not?
Did I make that up?
Did I fuck up? I probably messed up. I'm probably
All
messed
right.
up. It's on
All
me.
right. Let's just restart. The
I
stream.
blame. Yeah, just. Yeah. So
From the beginning.
I'm personally offended that there's no blue choices.
Yeah, but there's purple
plan.
choice. Purple choice is great.
Yeah.
I'm going. I don't know.
I might be biased.
So the big idea here is that so you guys are technically samurai without a leader. You guys are Ronin, right? However, you sort of have that idealistic we're still out to do good type of mentality. So rather than going back and serving your lords and such like that, you guys carry on in a sort of diminished capacity of being like do-gooders, still trying to maintain order around people. People still respect you guys for the previous position. Think of something like Overwatch, right? Where you guys were once originally a band of heroes protecting the world, which things happened, things have fallen apart, things have separated. However, there's still some people trying to do good. And that's kind of where we fit in to the equation there, right? Only you guys are samurai mice instead.
So you would say we're all soldiers now?
Yeah, exactly. We're all soldiers now. So,
soldiers now.
so that's kind of
Genji throwing stars.
yeah, if you want them to be like daggers. But
I want them to be like Genji's stars.
I think we can make something up for that actually. But
Sure.
yeah, if you want to use shurikens, yeah.
Shuriken. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I want.
Well, no, that's cool. I'm glad you brought that up. So, let's
Is
go
anyone going to actually have katanas?
I am.
Okay.
somebody,
Awesome.
yes, somebody going to have a sword.
Of course.
So, you probably should change your instinct from Genji is always steal any available health packs.
Yep.
From the supports.
I need healing.
Blame supports as a pro Genji.
So-
That's gonna be my
Yeah.
instinct. Blame supports.
Yes. Okay, cool. So let's start with that kind of in mind. The world itself and the map in general is, if you can think of the world, actually, why would we say think when I have a little extra space here in the map at the bottom, right? So this is what it's kind of looking like, right? So there's a kind of a very tall mountain in the middle of Mouse Guard territory, right? At the base of the mountain grows a great maple tree, although the maple tree is dying. And this is the Imperial City. This is the Maple Castle, right? And then kind of separating into quadrants. Make sure I do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 are the 4 clans that kind of surround the base of the mountain, right?
I didn't know you were such a talented artist.
Yeah, I'm a jack of all trades. What can I say? Right. So we're just gonna do it this way. We're just gonna go around the horn, going like apricot, pear, plum, and cherry. right? So these are how the domains are kind of split up. These are the great houses. The reason why these guys are great houses is because way back in the world, the great hero, the descendant that the emperor is sent from, the original like founder of the Maple clan, him and his four buddies, all congenital, likely named after these houses, all slew a great snake, and basically open up this area for people to live in. And based on their heroism, they were given domains over these lands. And so that's where all these great clans come from. So expect, with the emperor gone now, rivalries and tensions between the clans to be a big deal in this game as we play. This whole campaign is going to be about 5 sessions long, including this session of character creation and the start of a session. So the goal of the game is that each session should feel kind of like an episode of the anime of this show, with a nice like concluding arc at the end. So that's kind of the deal.
I would definitely watch Samurai Mice.
So
Oh yeah.
Samurai,
No question.
Samurai Mouse anime for sure. Okay. So as far as like actual names for the towns and stuff like that, we can talk about in a little bit. But let's start going over and looking
One is
at
definitely Hanamura.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's start going over to some of our characters, and let's start filling out some things for our characters. So I took the liberty to speed things up. I filled in a lot of the pre-generated information from some pre-generated characters that MouseGuard has, and we're going to be tailoring them and customizing them for our characters today. Okay? So have no fear. A lot of these things and a lot of these questions we'll just go over together. Like I'll go over the mechanics of how do dice work, all that kind of stuff. All that will happen in a little bit. The first things we're going to be worrying about here are actual like our names, our home, that sort of things. What type of our more descriptors of like our fur color, and then as well as some notable people in our life. Okay, so like those are the big things we want to do.
Cool.
Okay. So I have 3 characters. They're all currently color coded of yellow, blue, and white. I don't think those should be our names. Guard 1, Guard Mouse, and Patrol Leader.
No,
I think they should be a little bit different. But that being said, do we have picks for different ones?
I'm blue. Dabba-dee. Anyway, I think my mouse is gonna be named Rosie. Yep.
Okay.
And she's gonna be from Cherry, red clan, red cloak, red fur, and I decided that her home is Hanamura because obviously I made that up. It's definitely not from anywhere else.
No, not at all.
That name.
Totally. Go ahead and if you could just start filling in the stuff from blue for that. Your guard rank is Guard Mouse.
Guard Mouse,
or just write you can just write Samurai Mouse as well if you would prefer, but that's all amazing.
I'm okay with just being a little bitty guard mouse. That's fine with me.
Yes, that's very nice. So you mentioned, okay, so I'm just gonna make up what a shuriken can do. My guess here is that a shuriken no, I'm jumping too far ahead. Let's just hold off real quick. Let's use Rosie real quick to go over a couple other things here.
Okay.
So, if we look at the character sheet, you're also going to have parents, a mentor, a friend, an enemy, and an artisan.
Okay.
As people who are in your life. We will discuss that at the end here. But the next part, the most important part of the game, is this belief, goal, and instinct. Okay. So this is what your character fervently believes. This is how you get experience in this game, is if you play to your beliefs, if your instinct comes up in the game. This is how you get experience. Experience as actually something that doesn't let you level up in this game. It basically gives you a currency to spend to become a hero in certain moments. Basically like a hero point kind of thing, which I'll go over later, but that's just sort of the idea. So the game incentivizes you to play to these beliefs. I'm incentivized as a game master to be like, you really believe that though? Do you believe it when bad things happen though? That kind of stuff, right? And that's kind of the whole give and take of the game. Next thing up, you see gear. Gear is super small. We don't have a lot of gear. We're mice. We don't have dungeon packs. We're not going into caves and stuff like that. So we're just really going to have a couple things, usually a weapon, and then either a notable belonging on us if it's like a personal effect item, or something maybe useful like rope or something like that if you wish. That's the other thing. The next thing, that all characters have traits, as well as wises. Traits are sort of like your character's feats, if you could. At level 1 traits, you can once per session invoke them to give you something powerful. They give you an extra die in whatever you're doing. As effectively, you just kind of role play how this trait is really important and impactful. And so like it kind of influences your role play for that. So rather than just being like, oh, I'm using my my extra feat so I get my power attack, it's like, no, you really like lean into why you're determined and such like that.
Is it the same? Is it the same for the wises? Like you can be like, oh, but I'm blank wise, so like I know about whatever thing.
Precisely.
Once per session. Okay.
No, not quite. Wises definitely do work, as in like you chime in with the wise or it helps. But I will talk about wises in a little bit, because wises are more like a weird skill than they are a trait, but they can't fit under skills, so I put them under traits.
So how many traits do we get? Does it matter?
So you as a guard mouse, you get 2.
Okay. I get 2 traits and a wise?
Yes. And the ones we gave you are as determined and defender, and then I gave you herb wise, so you know about plants.
That's cool. I'm a healer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know about healing plants.
I need healing.
The next big thing here are the abilities. These are your strengths, your charismas, and everything like that in this game.
Okay.
You have 5 major abilities. You have will, which is your mental stuff. You have health, which is your physical stuff. You have resources, which is your money and your ability to afford things, and circles, which is your social currency, your ability, how your reputation, how well you're known, right? And then the last one, and then probably the most interesting one of the whole game, is nature. Nature reflects particularly 4 descriptors here. It's escaping, hiding, climbing, and foraging. That's so like your nature represents your mousiness. The higher the nature, the more mousy you are. The lower the nature, the more human-like you are.
Okay.
A big conflict of this game is that the things that are mouse nature fly in the face of what is expected from you as a mouse guard, right? You're expected to step up to danger, not escape, right? Those types of things. So the idea is that there's a conflict between what you're good at versus what you're expected to do, as something that can come into play. I'll talk about how to use nature later. Then last thing are skills. You see that all of these skills and all of these abilities have a number associated with them. If you're ever called to make a roll, that is your starting pool for the number.
Okay.
So for example, what they do, I have a helpful little handout here explaining something. So for example, over here to the right, purchasing something is done with resources. Finding someone is done with circles. If you want to recover, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But if you ever had to, charge through the rain, that would be resisting physical stuff. So that would be like a health test. So very, very straightforward. So those are kind of the big things. So let's, after kind of reviewing all of that, we'll do also goal last. Let's talk about wises and skills. So wises are something that comes into play as 2 ways. One, if you are making a roll and you have a relevant wise, rather than it adding to the roll, like immediately, it can help you in other ways instead. It lets you solve things on the back end rather than loading up on the front end. If you fail a roll and you have a relevant wise, you can actually spend some of those hero points that you have to be like, hold on, I'm wise in this. I know what I did wrong. Of course, it's this, or aha, it's this thing, right? That would have been a really bad. That decision I was going to make was really bad, but I'm wise, so I made the better decision here. I'm going to re-roll some stuff, right, to get it to work for you. So that's how wise is
burning wheel.
Yes. So it's those are more like how wises will affect things. So that's why they're unlike traits.
Okay.
So let's just do a quick little. I'm gonna do a quick little sample roll with you. Okay.
Okay.
Just so we all can follow along. Like this is basically how the game's gonna play, right? Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
So Rosie, you are trying to get back to Hanamura, right?
Yes.
Before the storm comes. The sky's turning dark gray, right? To return to Hanamura, you're gonna have to take the trail. The trail's well guarded and very nice. You're just out maybe frolicking in the woods or something. And now you have to return home before the sunset and the storms come. So this will require a very easy Pathfinder test.
Okay.
So In order to do a Pathfinder test, this could just be, I would just say like this is an OB2 Pathfinder test.
So I have 3 in Pathfinder, so that would mean I would roll 3d6, right?
Correct. Now, if you wanted to, if you wanted to build up this roll, here are some things you can do, right? So you have the skill, right? You have
Pathfinder.
Yeah, you have Pathfinder. So you can you should be using your skill. Do you have any gear that helps you, circumstantially for this?
For getting home? I mean, maybe I have a map.
Yeah, so if you had a map in your items, right, then that could count as an additional die.
Oh, I totally have a map in my items. Look at that.
Yeah, right. Alternatively, right, if in this circumstances you don't have a map because you're home and you're this stuff, right? But you could invoke a trait now, right?
I'm determined to get home before.
Yeah. You could, and then you tell us how you are, determined, and you would play that up why you're determined, and then you could use that for yourself that session and give yourself an additional die, so you'd be at 4 dice if you use that, right? If you were with a group, other people could help you with relevant skills. I have another handout for skills and relevant help that show what each of those different skills can do and what's related to them. Okay. And then the last thing you could do is if you really needed to make a roll, you can spend a persona point and basically add your pool of nature to a roll.
Where does it say how many persona points I have? Oh, okay, fate and persona. I see that.
So you have 1 and 1. Yep.
Okay.
So for example, your nature is 4. So if you really wanted to make sure you try to get home, you could spend. So you have 4 dice right now, right? If you could spend a persona and add 4 more dice to the roll, so you have a total of 8 dice trying to get a couple successes.
Damn.
So let's just do that for me. Can you do that let's do that together real quick. So I have a macro. That you should be able to see.
Donde?
It's called dice. Dice, please.
Dice, please. Where would I see this macro?
If you go, it should be underneath your everyone's names in the bottom left. It should be a little macro bar and it should just show dice. If it's not, then in the top right-hand corner, next to the gear, there's a drop-down button thing, and you have to enable macros.
Oh, do I need to, though?
Yeah, because this would be the easiest way for everyone to roll and see.
Enable macros?
Yeah.
Use advanced keyboard shortcuts?
No. So under macros,
dice.
So under macros, there should be a name that says dice, and there's a checkbox that says. Am I hiding it from you guys? Visible to players.
So next to your little gear, there's a little thing that looks like a point bulletin with 3 lines and 3 points.
Oh, just
click
wrong
that
menu.
Yeah, click that. And then it's right there, first thing, dice.
Yep.
And if you tick the
in bar
box,
got
it goes to your bottom left. Yeah.
Done. Yeah. Okay, so then I would click on dice.
Yep. And it should ask you, what are you testing?
What am I testing?
Pathfinder.
Okay.
Then it should ask you, what is the base skill?
Which is 3.
Your Pathfinder 3. Yep.
And then I have what help traits supplies. So I'm using my nature, right?
Yeah. As well as determined. So you would be adding 5 dice.
I'm adding 5. So I just say 5?
Yep. Then press enter.
What ob did the GM give?
2.
I'm going to kick this ob's ass.
You did.
4.
Look at that. See? So then you would succeed. And then I would continue narrating what happens. You succeed and you get home and blah, blah, blah. But that's the game in a nutshell when there's roles that need to happen, is that you construct the pool. Other people narrate how they're helping you. So instead of everybody rolling a perception check or to navigate check, one person does it. Everyone helps that person. And then we continue.
Okay.
All right. So that's congratulations on your first roll. That was your first ever roll. You did it before. You played Mouse Guard. That's it in a nutshell. Okay. Cool.
I just want to point out that the last time I played Mouse Guard, it was not so easy. You didn't have a nice little.
I feel you on that one.
Field to type things into.
Yeah. Oh, the macro?
Yeah, no, I didn't have any macros.
Well,
I
I'm
know.
spoiled, so
I mean, in my entire experience with role-playing games at all, I just have Adam repeat to me what I have to do at every like juncture
that's
within
like
the
my
game,
whole life.
rather than like learn the rules.
Adam, what do I do here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do this thing.
Well,
Okay.
obviously, I like to support and I'll be available to answer any types of questions that come up. But at the same time, I'm trying to give you guys the tools that I think you need in order to complete the job. I'm trying to give you supplies. So
it's awesome, Eric. Thank you.
yeah,
It's great.
I'm
So,
gonna build a doomsday
It's very
device.
clear.
I'm
So
gonna build a doomsday device with your supplies and then use it to blow in
awesome.
front
Cool.
of me.
So thank you.
Eric's
Very,
so
thank you
positive
so
with
much for being my,
reinforcement. Cool. That's a
and
great
because
idea.
because I'm
Except
saying it's like
maybe don't.
Build the
I
doomsday
love
device
saying that
now.
it's a great
Build the
idea,
doomsday
and you
device.
should totally do this because I know that this game I'm going to be stealing a little bit from Dogs in the Vineyard, in terms of like you're going to have some hard choices.
My dog's
It's not gonna you're not
I better.
gonna walk away and being like this job's easy.
my,
If I don't
I
lose
like
my
being a samurai.
shuriken, I'm gonna be really upset.
Oh, you're definitely gonna have shurikens. I won't break them. You might end up losing them.
I mean, if
They're
you
if
throw
they're
them
shiny,
at
if they're
things-
shiny, crows might like them.
if
So,
you throw them at things, they end
Yeah.
up probably getting lost occasionally.
we'll see. Yeah, cool. Well,
Any
thank you so much
weapon-
for being my guinea
Yeah.
pig, my guinea mouse.
Of course,
For showing that example as well.
my
Are
pleasure.
guinea mice a thing? I'm gonna check now.
I don't know if they are or not, but okay. So then we'll do while we're doing that, let's go ahead and start thinking about your parents, your mentor, your friend, your
so
enemy,
I just, like, make up
Arson.
names.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Do that for me while we
I
continue
will.
and go around with other people. Yeah, I know.
And we're doing the whole like, are we doing Japanese names for stuff, or are we doing the?
I mean,
I mean,
just chose
we
Hanamura.
chose Hanamura,
Just
but
chose Hanamura,
yeah. We're
so-
as far as names and tones go, we were seeing whether or not we wanted to do more of the traditional names, or if we're doing more of like the whitewashed anime converted.
I think
know,
we should
like
just
Pallet
do
Town.
whatever the hell we want.
And I think we're doing more of that one, the Americanized English, the dubbed
I just-
version.
I just needed to make the Overwatch reference.
Yeah.
It was necessary.
I mean,
for me.
I think having hints of its roots is perfectly good.
Okay.
Okay, cool, awesome. So let's go ahead and let's do elves next. Okay,
Okay.
cool. So which character did you
I
choose?
I picked your yellow mouse.
Okay,
Your yellow mouse, who I've named
Elf.
Ash.
yes.
Because you said it earlier and it got stuck in my head, so now their name is Ash.
Mhm.
They have a purple cloak from the Plum clan.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a sword, like a katana, like the appropriate samurai weapon. I imagine her fur color is probably black, and that she's got kind of a little bit of like a tufty little like mohawk almost going on at the top. Like it's a little bit wild up there.
Oh yeah.
And she's hot tempered. It's great. Everything that she does is like the beliefs or whatever that are in here, like belief and instinct. It's like the best solution is found at the blade of my sword, and instinct, always draw my sword at the first sign of danger. So everything can be solved with sword.
Yes.
Like
Can we
that's-
have our friends be other players?
That's Ash.
You can. It would be preferred though if they were
Oh, okay.
non-player characters.
I just wanted to check
Yeah,
while we were
I mean,
describing how cool Ash is.
You can have more than one friend, right?
But can you though?
Yes.
I'm an aggressive mouse with a sword. Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't know if I missed anything that I needed to say.
No.
Did I?
So your wises are weasel wise and hidey hole wise.
Yeah,
Your nature should be fully 3 out of 3.
Okay.
Let's see.
I'm also short, fearless, and bold.
Yes.
Those are my traits.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Wises are literally down here at the bottom.
Eh,
Why not
okay.
do then?
And I fight like really good, real good.
All right. Can you do me a favor and go ahead and convert your hidey hole wise and weasel wise from traits to wises in the bottom there?
Of course I can.
That would be great.
I can do that.
You're also healthy. And then when you're done that, also start thinking of your parents' name, your mentor, your artisan, your friend, and enemy.
I shall indeed.
Yeah. So there's mechanical benefits to having friends and as well as mentors and stuff like that. They will always be willing to help you if they were available.
So Eric, I know that you have a person who you would like to be the mentor of one of the people in this group, an elderly mouse.
Yes.
Perhaps. I volunteer as tribute for that.
Okay. Cool. Which I will get to in the last part after we do Colin.
Just saying, I know that you have a thing that is a thing.
Yes. It's cool.
Just
So this is actually pretty good. So then now everyone who's at chat, who's watching us kind of like learn together, has a chance to be like, wait, what's going on? What is this? How do I mouse? So, because this game is in a way, it's very elegant and very simple, but also very rich and very, has a lot of complexity involved the more you play. It has plenty, it's easy to get started and it's a hard game to master, is what I would say. It's unlike, say, Pathfinder, which would be like doing your taxes. This game is very much like, it's like dancing. It's fun. It's fun to just do it, but then if you really want to get into it, it's hard. So
Both of those things stress me out, Eric.
Well, good. Dancing will test your core.
Okay.
Okay. So, we have, last but not least, Colin. You are going to be then the patrol leader.
Apparently, I've been elected.
You've been elected.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, not it was basically our election process.
Cool. So we're gonna need to come up with a name and start filling in all of that stuff as well. Okay, yeah, it's editable by you. And everybody starts with one fate and one persona. We can always go ahead and at this moment, if you wanted to, you could change your beliefs or your instincts. But I think we're probably cool with keeping them as is. Just like Elf, I accidentally put your wises under your traits because I didn't know that wises were actually a separate category at the bottom. Learn something new. Oh yeah, everyone in chat is joking about how a better explanation would have been sex, as RPGs with like or mouse guards like sex. That's fair. Thank you, Leavington and Kelso. The only other thing I wanted to mention is that this game has Skyrim-like skill growth. So remember how I mentioned how there's no leveling up, right? But you do get better the more you use certain skills. In order to improve your skills, you must pass and fail a certain number equal to, I believe it is, you must fail as a 1 or 2 times and pass 1 minus the times. So for example, if you wanted to level up your fighter, Colin, which is at currently level 3, you would need to pass twice and fail once. Because it's not enough to just be good and succeed. You actually have to fail as well.
I see. It's wisdom.
It is.
When you said Skyrim, like I thought you meant like at a relatively low level, the game becomes broken and you are extremely OP.
Not quite, but that's totally fair. All right. Let me know when we all have that stuff filled in, and then I want to hear what everyone has chosen.
I have a bunch of names, but there's nothing substantial about any of them. I just came up with names. That's what you asked me to do, right?
Yeah.
I have some names and also backgrounds for stuff.
You have substantial things? You go first and I'll copy everything. I mean, nothing.
Okay, cool.
Forgive me, I have misspoken, by the way. Advancement is equal to the current rating and 1 minus. It's not 1 and then 2 minus. It's equal to 1 minus. So fighter, you must pass 3 tests and fail 2. Okay?
Okay. We'll figure that out and play is my thought on that.
Sure.
Because I'm not going to remember all of this.
Yeah, I know.
So my parents are Deacon and Kiki. Deacon was in the guard and now he's retired. He's very upfront, kind of he's mellowed out a bit in his retirement. Kiki is a baker and she always has something fresh baked at home. Always. Like you come into the house, it always smells like something delicious.
Okay.
And so Deacon's gotten a little belly in his retirement. also. I trained under the senior artisan Angela. She's a healer and an herbalist.
Okay.
Totally not Mercy. Mercy. It's Mercy. And my friend is Sakura. We've been friends since childhood. Now she's actually trained under my mother as a baker. We've just known each other forever. Like, she's practically my sister. She also lives in Hanamura. And I haven't picked my enemy or rival yet.
Okay.
But I mean,
that's good.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll get to that next.
That's good for me right now. That's good so far. I like that a lot.
Do you want me to go next?
Yeah, could you?
I got some stuff now. Now that it's just like small details, I could totally fill that stuff in.
Yeah.
So my parents are Jin and Daisy, and they are both well-known apiarists. They're beekeeper mice.
Sweet.
From the Plums major town, wherever that is.
It's probably Plumtown. Plum
Town,
Castle.
yeah.
It's probably Plum Castle.
Plum Castle.
Let's establish that all of the major places, like their central capitals,
just, like,
are
Plum
named.
Castle.
Yeah.
Okay. So Plum Castle. They're both from Plum Castle. I trained under the senior artisan and guard member Karen, who is very adept teacher of the martial aspects of being a guard. She's very severe. She's a very severe mouse with a very strict sense of duty and honor.
Yes, yes, she is.
My best friend is Yuki, and she was always like the soft-hearted guard member that I had to like protect by being like more hard, you know. She's always getting picked on and stuff. And my enemy is Quinn, a person who thinks that sometimes I take it way too far. And we've been in lots of fights before about the right way the right way to do things. Quinn's more of a diplomat, like a everything can be solved through talking. And my mentor is that one mouse who you were going to detail. That's them.
Is that not Karen?
Oh, that's the senior. That's the senior art.
Oh, that's the artisan. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Sure.
So her artisan was just very guard-like.
Yeah. I didn't know the difference.
For me, that would make more sense as a mentor.
Okay, so she'll be the old mouse then.
Yeah.
That's okay. And then I don't have. I learned the ways of edgelording from the master edgelord mouse, Karen.
Yeah.
Karen, master edgelord.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my senior artisan. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
So, being part of the Maple Guard, it's not enough to just learn the master arts of combat and such. You often have to do some sort of other menial type skill.
I don't have a name for them, but they're going to be like a weaver, like a basket.
Okay. Sure. Okay, so to be determined, but the name will be. But basically, they're a weaver. Cool. Works for me. Okay. So, let's go and keep going then. Colin, did you have a name? Not besides Pat Roll Reader?
No. I have some other names for friends and parents and stuff. I'm still working on it though. If you guys have any, I'm open to suggestions.
Hanzo.
Good name.
Stop.
It's a great name.
Stop.
I can't stop.
Stop.
I don't think Hanzo is the patrol leader, honestly.
No, I mean, I don't know about you. I was talking about just random names for your side people.
Yeah.
Your side
and I'm thinking about it some more about like the shurikens and stuff for you, Bluejay. What I would do is I would just treat them like the bow would, like you would with a bow. They give you the benefit of a bow.
It's a projectile weapon. That makes sense. Oh, and that makes sense. My mentor is Genji.
Yeah.
Oh.
Totally unrelated to. I just Fucking come on, it's great.
It
It's
is-
great. You love it. Don't even lie.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's excellent.
I have mixed feelings.
It's excellent.
Okay. Cool. So, Walen
I'm thinking Walen,
or Walen. Okay.
but if you would spell it differently, I don't know. I'm
No.
making this up. Walen is too much like Colin, in which case I want to differentiate a little
Yeah.
more.
No, Walen is fine. That's a very good name.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, so then we have Rosie, the guard mouse that never gives up. We have Ash, the edge lord, and then we have Walen, the How would you describe yourself, Walen?
Like fur color, dark grayish. I was shooting for, before being thrust into the patrol leader role, I was shooting for not an older mouse, but so I don't know if that still flies.
You could be a young patrol leader.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that, and like the gray fur, I don't know if that is like related to age in mouse world, or if that's
it often
just-
is. But would you prefer? Yeah. Would you like to change this then if you wanted to play a younger mouse?
Yes.
Okay.
So
So you don't actually have the gray fur trait. So there's nothing stopping you from being a
All
younger
right.
mouse.
All right, let's just go with a different fur color.
I mean, you can be gray. Like
you're
gray is
sa-
like, you know what I mean? Like you can be a gray colored mouse and still be young. But a gray fur is like the one with like that's, you know, there's your silver. Like you have that silvery stuff around your nose and your snout and, you know, your eyebrows. And
Yeah,
you look
okay.
old.
Gotcha.
You're wizened,
Distinguished.
distinguished. Yes.
I've got a green cloak, and I don't know where I'm from yet. I'm sorry.
Pear Castle, it could be.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
And yeah, what else do you want to know on the fly? I'll make it up.
No, that's about all we needed. The other last thing we want to do before we take our first break, we're gonna come up with our goals for today's session. And the way we're gonna do our goals is that you get to hear sort of the orders for the game. Now, generally, when in a regular mouse guard game, you guys don't. You actually have someone in charge of the mouse guard who gives you orders, and that's what gets carried out. In this game, it's a little bit more pushed towards you guys and thrusted on you. And the order and the mission for this game is you're going to design an objective to accomplish based on the following scenario. So we're going to start on a remote dojo deep in Plum territory. It is Karen's, right? It's Karen, right? Karin. Yeah. It's Karen's Kenjutsu dojo, right? It's a sword fighting dojo, and Karen is very, very, very ill.
Oh no.
Karen has been around forever. In fact, it's pretty certain that they're going to die soon. They asked, by chance you guys have been around. Of course, Ash, when asked by Karen for a favor, you obliged. She wants to meet her brother once more, her estranged brother. Her brother lives in a town. See, previously, I let's call it. See, I was gonna go with the Japanese name, so let's just do that.
So do
Uda.
that.
Yeah, Uda. And basically bring him back to see her before she passes. That's the goal of the game.
It is my instinct to offer to help, so I'm going to offer to help.
This is your mentor. This is the person who's trained you. This is the
No,
this is
the
the
person
best.
that trained
Yeah.
Ash.
True. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was talking to Ash. I'm sorry. But you're always willing to help, which is great. But like, so to Ash, like, this is the person who's trained you when you were a little sprout with a sword. This person is in their prime, almost peerless, right? They're asking you to do this for them. You don't know what happened between her and her brother. Her brother's name will be. Did you already use Jin? You did use Jin, didn't you?
I did.
You jerk.
Can
That's my.
again if you want.
Yeah, it's Jin because that was my notes. And so you don't know the context of that. All you know is that they're estranged, and that there's some sort of problem between them, and they want to make it right before she passes. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is the simple context of the mission. So we can come up with a goal statement being like, I will do something. So by the end of the session, if you accomplish that, you get rewarded. Okay. So like an example goal would be like, I will ensure we make contact with her brother, right? With Jin, or like, I will guarantee that Jin, something like that, right? So think about that stuff as we get ready to go to our first break. Okay. Nice. So we'll see you guys on the other side.